Alright, Lions, so less than 2 days ago, I am a tad bit late to this, but we did get our new 5-star plus accessories. We briefly spoke about it, a new Ryo Kotsujo upgrade, and also, most importantly, and the focus of today's video, a 5-star upgrade for the Lieutenant's badge. And if you go to your accessories right now, you can see they are upgradable. And this is probably our first example of a meta damage accessory that you use almost all the time, getting that upgraded, making them even better. Because for the most part, the last, 2 batches of 5-star plus accessories were focused on Yukis and Popples, and these accessories in particular, they were kind of bad. They're useless at their 5-star versions, and then with 5-star plus, they become usable. And that's what the main thing with these upgrades, what they were all about, was just making them usable. Popples definitely have a place in the Brave Battle meta. That's why I went ahead and did a 5-star plus Mind Golden Popples for my 1000-year Blood War Sergeant. But these ones, you can kind of go about upgrading them. You don't really need to do it right now, especially when golden hammers and silver hammers are a lot more rare. Obviously, if you aren't already aware, I'm going to mention it whenever I can. Potentially sometime next month, we are going to get a quest where we can reliably get silver and also golden hammers. But this 5-star Yuki, when it did upgrade, it didn't change the amount of stats that it did give. It was always 30% SP and stamina. But it did get rid of the negative effect, that being reducing your focus down to 0. Now, I'll be honest, this might be a hot take. I don't think it is. Some would say they're still useless, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what accessory you are using. If you're using a powerful character that has like high SP and they've been worked on, whether you use a golden Yuki or a Lieutenant's badge, likely your clear time is going to be almost very similar. You probably won't even notice that much of a difference. But the best way I like to look at it is the golden Yukis, when they did get upgraded, it's a replacement for a T-set that is restrictive to affiliations. Depending on the type of player you are, where you are at in the game, you might have access to our artisanal T-set where you do get that extra 50% SP. So instead, a 5-star plus Yuki is a good alternative. And what we are seeing right now with these 5-star plus upgrades for the Lieutenant's badges is that once more, it's kind of also an alternative in exchange for not having a T-set, Teacup, Kamari, depending on the affiliation that you are working with. As of right now, only Sorpers have access to a 5-star plus strong attack damage item, but we're likely going to get the strong attack damage items in the coming months for other affiliations. And what I mean by that is, let's say for Guild Quest content where you want to use a killer sticker, the meta build right now is a killer sticker, fortification pill, and also T-set. With a 5-star plus Lieutenant's badge, you can now replace the T-set with a Lieutenant's badge, assuming you don't have a T-set, for example. And with that, the build is going to be pretty good. Of course, until we eventually do get a 5-star plus artisanal T-set. Now, for today's video, we are going to go ahead and upgrade the Mind one, since we have currently access to Mind-only inheritance trials, just to use an example run. But we do go ahead and evolve these accessories. You will see here that it surprisingly does cost 5 golden hammers. So this is the first accessory to take golden hammers that isn't a dispenser. Right now, it was assumed the dispensers only would take golden ones, and every other accessory will be taking silver ones. So we can most likely assume now as well, the normal attack damage items, the wooden swords, for example, and also the T-sets, they're likely to take golden hammers too. But the amount of gold hammers they do take to evolve will vary depending on the accessory. In this case, it's 5 golden hammers, which isn't as bad. I would have preferred if they were silver hammers. But again, in the future, we might already have a shortage of hammers as we have right now. But for those that aren't already aware, the damage that you get from a Lieutenant's badge is 20% strong attack damage. And once you do evolve it, it's going to go upwards to 35% strong attack damage. And like I mentioned, this is the first example of an already good accessory, now even better. So I would definitely recommend evolving all your Lieutenant's badges, one in every attribute, when you possibly can. You don't have to do it right now. I feel like maybe it's best to still be a tad bit stingy with your hammers until we start getting a bigger income of these items. But I'm kind of at the point right now where I can evolve a Lieutenant's badge in every attribute at least once to cover all my Sorpers if need be. In fact, as of right now, I'm actually going to evolve the speed one too, because this is going to be a really good accessory for someone like Owetsu, who doesn't have any Berserker built in. So this accessory right here is going to be 35% strong attack damage for Owetsu, and it's going to be one of his better accessories. Now, obviously, to help us with evolving our accessories, they also have given us some event orders, which I recommend going ahead and do right now if you already haven't done so. But you can see here, all you have to do is clear upwards to 300 single-player quests. You get a bunch of, editing brushes, some summon tickets, but most importantly, you are getting some really good and valuable items like the hammers, because they are kind of rare right now. Only 10 golden hammers, so it does allow you to evolve 2 accessories, Lieutenant's badges, to 5-star plus, if assuming you have none right now. And you also do get a decent amount of silver ones too, and there's some extra challenges too to recycle accessories and reroll a 5-star effect. So very easy to do. You can finish this in like an hour. It's been a few days now. You're likely already done it, and this is where you're going to get your hammers to evolve some of your accessories as of right now, again, until we do get the new quest. And since we're here, I guess we might as well do a quick demonstration run. So in this case, we are using 1000-year Blood War Ishin. Again, the standard build that you would use in a character like this. This right now is the 3 best accessories. And it is going to be crazy in the future when all of these 3 get their 5-star plus upgrade. Because I'm going to assume the SP item is going to at least gain like 20%, maybe more SP. In that case, overall, with the second effect applied, it would be 100% additional SP. And that would be kind of crazy. And then I assume the fortification build isn't actually going to get increased whatsoever, but it is going to lose that negative 30% stamina, which to be fair isn't really that big of a deal, but I guess it would be nice to have more stamina on your character. For the links though, we're going to do some full stamina damage and more strong attack damage at full stamina. With that said, let's jump into the quest. Alright then, so let's see how this does go. Obviously we don't need to, really compare damage numbers to know that we are going to be doing more damage. Like I mentioned, the Lieutenant's Badge is already an accessory you should be using for the most part. And now we're just doing more damage, if I actually position my strong attacks correctly. Isn't a great character in Heritage Shards, by the way? High chance to inflict status augments here, regardless of kill him. He is going to be doing a lot of damage. And for the most part, this might be our last Inheritance Trials run on the channel. Because obviously, in less than 10 days time, we are going to be getting the new Co-op Trials. Or Links or Trials, I believe is what they are calling it. And that's what we're going to be playing instead of Inheritance Trials. So damage there. SA2 finishes up. And Uri goes down too. Didn't even realize. I believe we do have killer against Uri though. Alright, do that SA2 there. Get ready for the bosses. 3 and 1 finishes them up. And then going into the final stage, we have our Soul Bomb. We have our strong attacks ready in just a second. Let's Soul Bomb now. Straight into the final boss. And then SA1 does finish up there. Actually, hold on. There's a few enemies left over. We got paralyzed. But luckily, the Soul Bomb inflicts weakening and lacerator, not burn and lacerate. We actually would have died there. But yeah, I mean, 1 minute clear time seems the standard for Ishin. He's already clearing fast, but now, maybe to a certain extent, he is going to clear faster. But like I mentioned, we're already probably one-shotting these bosses anyway, or enemies anyway. Whether I had the Lieutenant's Badge or the Lieutenant's Badge Plus probably doesn't make that much of a difference in Inheritance Trials, and that's why I like to look at these 5-star upgrades as replacements for those limited items like T-sets. Because now if you don't have a T-set, again, like I said in Guild Quest, you can just use the 5-star Plus badge instead of a, T-set. And if we actually use Owetsu as an example real quick, just showing the difference in damage with a 5-star Plus badge and a normal badge, obviously the 5-star Plus is hitting a tad bit harder. For the most part, it seems like I'm hitting 50k harder per hit, by the way. Without the gauge active, it looks like I'm doing around 450k on average, and then with the 5-star plus Lieutenant's Badge, we are hitting a solid 500,000 damage. Once the gauge does activate, we see actually a bigger damage increase, and it looks like we're hitting around 1.2 million damage on average when we have the gauge active, which is kind of crazy to think about it. With a normal 5-star badge, it's just about 1 million. With that said though, to wrap up the run, let's do one final Limit Breaker quest challenge, because right now my best clearance history is 28. And I know I can get to 30 with this team. Haven't done too many resets, but now might be a good time to do it because Owetsu does benefit quite heavily with that Lieutenant's Badge, I will be honest. He's probably the best character to use this badge on. So if you're using Owetsu, I would definitely recommend getting the speed one. Because remember, he has no Berserker built in. He gets Berserker on his gauge, but I've heard that the Berserker stacks differently. So it's definitely worth getting at least a speed badge just for the purpose of using it on Owetsu. And we're probably going to notice in the poised enemy stage, like now, for example, how big of a difference that is going to make. And it does kind of make a big difference there. I believe usually I had to use an extra strong attack. Let's SA1 upwards, SA2 sideways. In that case, spam with the strong attacks, grab the box when we can. There we go. And then we get to use our SA2 and 1 again. We don't really need to care about the SA2 and 1 for our next room. We just need that SA3 ready. Let's use our 3 there. Did I grab the box? I actually don't know. Looks like mostly everyone got paralyzed though. There we go. That's good. Good status procs here. There's always one last alive, but luckily, relatively lucky in that stage. Spam all the strong attacks that we can. There we go. So far, so good. Again, SA3 here is enough. Noting a small bit of lag spikes. Hopefully that doesn't ruin our run. The only time it would ruin the run is if we get like a little problem on Macy stage. Because Macy stage is the hardest, right? Grammy instantly paralyzes. We shouldn't take any damage with Owetsu for the most part. It's just Macy. She needs to get a status proc. Alright, so let's go here. SA2. then 3. There we go. All right, here we go. Next stage for Owetsu. Might as well use our no attack to build up the gauge. Yeah, definitely a noticeable increase there because I have to spam less strong attacks to clear those stages. Usually, again, it would be 1 or 2 more. Let's go here. Let's EX. I prefer to EX on stage 17 because next stage, we're going to be using Macy. And having that boost in stats is going to be really good for those next 15 seconds. Here we go. Can we get the status procs? Hopefully we can. Looks like we did actually. That's pretty good. Let's SA2. SA1. Again, keep dodging out the way. This is where it can get a bit ugly. But it looks like we're getting decent status procs. A little lag spike there, but no worries. Okay, there we go. Because next time we use Macy, we're going to use our Soul Bomb. Alright, next rotation. 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go. Can we do that last rotation? Unfortunately, didn't have an SA3 ready. That's why I like to have that SA3 ready. I guess to be fair, I should have used my SA3 there anyway. Because I do like having double beams for that next stage. But we'll wing it. We'll wing it. We'll see how it goes. Alright, SA1. There we go. SA3 is going to activate the gauge. Matt will use our 2 to lunge forward and get into the next stage. SA1 upwards. Let's try and position ourselves good there. Did we do it? Yes, sir. Getting better with that one. It's quite easy to line up, to be fair, though. Now, this part can be a tad bit slow. Yeah, usually they do stay alive a tad bit. But let's just sit back. We don't want to get too close. We don't need to get cocky or anything. Few extra strong attacks there. Maybe I should have positioned myself a tad bit better. Let's SA2, then 3. 1 activates the gauge. Might as well EX. 1 there. Looks like we have to use like a few more strong attacks. Unfortunately, the gauge wore off. That SA1 would have actually killed there. That's unfortunate. I think we were very close to actually finishing that like 10, 15 seconds earlier. At least 10 seconds earlier. Let's go here. SA2. Then a 1, 3. I think we're looking decent on play time. We just need to make sure Grammy doesn't slow down here. Okay, having an EX now wouldn't have been too bad, to be fair. Okay, we're not using our SA3. There we go. 37 seconds to go. Can we do it? Let's find out. Let's 2. Unfortunately, not good placement on that SA2. That potentially ruins the run a tad bit. SA2 goes off. Very close. That's SA2, then 3. 14 seconds. Can we make it to 30? We just might. We just might be able to. Very close. 28. Grammy's SA3 is ready. SA3 now. There we go. 29. Macy has strong attacks ready. Come on. SA2. Ah, very close. I mean, it made a small difference there. We did actually break into 29. So that is now a new PB. We could definitely get into 30 again. I'm going to try and get into like 32, 33 in my own time. But yeah, I did notice a bit of damage increase down Owetsu. I feel like we actually could have cleared stage 25, which may be one of our more important stages, a tad bit faster there. There was one enemy that I seem to have not hit. And that meant we had to spend like an extra 2, 3 strong attacks, reactivate the gauge just to take him out. And it's always one enemy left alive in Limit Breaker. But like I said, where you're going to notice the difference with Owetsu with his 5-star badge is in those poised enemy stages. And you can see here, stage 7 and 16, the poised enemy stages, we did clear faster, a tad bit faster. And that potentially makes a difference. If I didn't mess up on stage 25, we would have broken to 30. With that said though, that's the video for today. Checking out the new 5-star plus edition for the Lieutenant's badge. Again, Ryokotsujo, for those that are wondering, plays the exact same. No need to talk about that. But again, I do believe this is our first example of a meta accessory, an accessory you should always be using, now getting the upgrade, and it just makes them even better. Whereas the Yukis and Purples went from bad to now good, the Lieutenant's badge went from great to even better. It's down to you, as always. If you want to use your limited items, such as golden hammers, to upgrade said accessories, you might want to save them for better accessories. But I didn't mind doing it just for the showcase. And again, I do recommend upgrading a speed lieutenant's badge if you do own a Wetsu. It's probably one of the better accessories for him, especially if you do like a T set. If you don't have a T set for any particular attribute for your snipers, upgrade that lieutenant's badge as a replacement, especially when you tackle guild quest content. Because now a fortification build, lieutenant's badge, and also killer sticker is a perfectly fine build. Like I mentioned, hopefully next month we are going to get that limited quest where we can actually not farm, but potentially get more hammers. And hopefully that is going to be our answer and way for us to, upgrade all the accessories that we actually want to. Either way, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the lieutenant's badge in the comments below. Let me know if you actually upgraded any. I'm curious to know. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.